Alrighty, guys. So in this video, we're going to be talking about how to iterate and how to think of this. So first order of business, you're going to take the feedback, rewrite it. This could take you a few times to get it right, and then we want to test it in the market as fast as possible. Okay. So once it's finished, you're going to have your written version and you're going to have your video sales letter version, and you're going to want to test it as fast as possible. So what we do is, let's go to my channel here. We post, this is what I do. I post on YouTube just organically. So if I do a new video sales letter, I'll post it on YouTube. I'll look at the like to dislike ratio and I'll see if it's, see if it gets some good engagement, get some good likes. And then I'll post it to my list. So I'll send it through ActiveCampaign and I'll blast the list with the landing page, and we'll see if it works. And if it gets sales, we'll monitor the sales calls and we'll be like, okay, is that working? Like, you can tell right away if it's resonating, because people on the call will start referencing it and they'll say, oh, I saw this video, I saw that video, this is why I bought, blah, 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 blah. So we'll blast it to the current lead list. And if you don't already have a lead list, then that's fine. Just post it on YouTube or LinkedIn. And then what we'll do is we'll start driving some traffic to it with paid advertising. Okay. And we're just looking at the return. That's it. We're just looking at the return. Okay. So that's the skill. If you can create, post, and get feedback really, really fast, and then change on the fly, then you're going to be able to find that market message fit so fast. Okay. So on YouTube, you just post. If you don't already have followers, then just post anyway. You just start building your YouTube. And then on LinkedIn, what you want to do is just post that on LinkedIn as fast as possible. Okay. The new video, and see if there's any engagement, see if there's likes or dislikes, etc. And see if you'll know when you hit it, because people will start reaching out. They'll be like, oh, this was great. How do we, I saw this video. How can we, do you want to jump on a call? They'll start asking you questions. Okay. So that's how you hit something, you hit a nerve. It's like you can feel the engagement. You can see the engagement. Okay. So that's basically how to do it. So post on LinkedIn, post on YouTube, send it to a list of prospects, send it to just people, if you already have a lead list, just be like, hey, I wrote this, like, what do you think? Okay. So another thing is, don't worry about negative feedback. This is the key. Don't worry about negative feedback. You want to see on some of my ads, let's go to the Facebook page. I get so much negative feedback, but not from the customers. It's the people outside of the niche, which is fine. Like, who cares, right? Don't worry about getting negative feedback from people who are not your customers. Okay. So when you start doing this type of stuff, you start publishing, you're exposing yourself, you're putting yourself out there. And a lot of the customers, they get a little worried. They call me and they say, hey, Nick, like, I got this negative comment. People are laughing, blah, 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 blah. That's okay. Let them hate. Let the haters hate. Let the haters hate. Okay. That means, like, when you do something, the best copywriting, it's usually polarizing. So it'll make people love you or it'll make people hate you. Okay. So when you post something, like, don't be afraid to get it out there. Don't worry about what your investors think, what your employees, what your parents, what your friends from high school think. That doesn't matter. Everyone's going to have their own opinion. The stuff that I post, like, everyone's like, does that really work? Blah, 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 blah. Like, when I started doing this, people were commenting and they were making their own opinions, and a lot of them were negative, but I saw the numbers. I saw what was working. I saw it work. I saw the customers who I was trying to help. They loved it. They resonated with it. And then a lot of other people didn't. So don't be afraid. Look at this. Yeah, sure, I'll give you the secret, blah, 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 blah. If you believe this bullshit, okay, don't be afraid to put yourself out there, okay? So that's a huge thing. Even just this lesson is probably really, really important because, you know, you want to see somebody else going out there and taking a little bit of heat, right? And I thought about that, like ex-girlfriend's parents, my aunts and uncles, they were making judgment. They're passing judgment. They're snickering, okay? Especially when they didn't see the success right off the bat. They were snickering. So, yeah. But the thing is, don't worry. I learned this in door-to-door sales. Who cares? Who cares? The people who are snickering and you know, who are making negative comments, what they're doing is they're projecting. It's like what they feel like. They're afraid. They don't like it because they see you putting yourself out there. They see you, you know, like making a little bit of noise. Okay. And so the people that hate are the people who know they can't do that. They know they wouldn't last 2 seconds in the world that you're in. Okay. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about taking negative feedback. Don't worry about the investors saying, this is a common thing. Oh, the investors say it's too long. They want to do an explainer video. Oh, they, you know, like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. What those people think. And here's another point. If the investors were so smart, why aren't they entrepreneurs? Why aren't they CEOs? Okay. The return of doing this type of stuff is 500 to 1,000% in a year or more. The return on building and creating is so much more than investors. Investors care about like 10%, 20%, like a hedge fund, like 20%, right? The investors who want, you know, asymmetric returns, they're playing around with 10 to 20%. If they were that good at multiplying capital, then they would not be just straight up investors. They would take their money and put it into their own thing that they create, which is what you guys are doing. Okay. So don't worry about the heat. Okay. Don't worry. You're going to have to take a little bit of heat. Okay. Take a little bit of heat. And then you're going to learn how to handle the heat. Like you'll learn to like it. You know that if you post something and it makes a lot of noise and there's a lot of heat, you know you did something right. So when I get a lot of heat on a post or something like that, I used to just be like, but now I've learned to like embrace it. I know that if there's heat, that means I'm doing something right. So, yeah, that's kind of how to handle the heat. So if it doesn't work off the bat, just redo it. Okay. The worst reaction to your sales letter and your marketing and your content is apathy. That's worse than hate. It's just like if you post it and no one cares, right? There's no engagement. There's nothing. There's crickets. That's way, way worse than, you know, ruffling a few feathers. Okay. So, if it doesn't work off the bat or if there's apathy, then just redo it. Just rewrite it. Just think of yourself as a robot. Or just rewrite it. That's fine. The faster it's like, it takes a ton of tries to get one that is a true banger. It's like writing a hit song. The amount of, you know, Justin Bieber, he wrote so many songs. He did so many songs before he got a really good hit, right? Any artist knows that too. Any, you know, music or producer follows that same rule. Actors, to do like a 1 minute scene, they do like 40 takes. So it takes a little bit of time. And then eventually what'll end up happening is you'll hit one and you'll hit a nerve and you'll get proficient. And then you'll create one it'll leave the audience with they'll think, what the hell did I just read? What the hell did I just watch? Holy crap. This is so awesome. So it takes time to get there. So the whole point is create fast, follow the structure, ship it as fast as possible, take some damage. Don't be afraid to take a little damage, take a little heat. Okay. It's totally fine. Embrace it. And then look at the numbers, like who's buying. If it's working, listen to the customers who are buying. They'll say something like, oh, I really like that. There's even some pieces of content that I put up that actually hurt me. So I posted video sales letters and then I posted it, and then I had customers reach out and say, hey, I didn't like that. And so that was amazing feedback, because it's like, okay, so take that down, not doing stuff like that anymore. Okay. So it's all about just getting the feedback as fast as possible and adapting. Okay, guys. So, and then eventually you hit one that works, and once it works, it'll work for years. Like I've been running the same sales letter for the last 2 years. So once it works, it works. All right, guys. So those are my thoughts on how to iterate and how to take feedback. All right. So we'll see you in the next video.